Alright. Under Siege stars Steven Seagal, Tommy Lee Jones, Erika Elenick, Glenn Morshower, and Gary Busey. And it's about a U.S. Navy ship that is taken over by a group of insurgents. And only Casey Ryback, played by Seagal, can stop them. Here's your story right there. So, Seagal plays Casey Ryback. He's a cook, a Navy cook, and he is preparing to cook dinner for the captain's birthday. Also brought on board is Erika Elenick, who plays a former playmate, which she was in real life, who is going to pop out of the captain's cake. However, plans change when Gary Busey decides, nope, he's not taking the shit anymore, and he and a group of insurgents are going to take over the ship due to the fact that these Tomahawk missiles were going to be decommissioned and taken away from the ship. And so, because they're going to be taken off the ship, this group of insurgents are going to take control of the Tomahawk missiles to blow shit up. The one thing I like about this is, movies like this where they have to have like a president or something, they bring in an entirely different, like they bring in an actor to play a fictional president. Like in Independence Day, you had Bill Pullman, and there's Jamie Foxx in White House Down, which I still want to review, by the way. And, in the Fallen movies, Olympus Has Fallen, or, London Has Fallen, those things. They got a fictional president. Here, they show stock footage of then President George H.W. Bush. I kind of like that, because it's like, it gives you historical accuracy. It dates the movie as all hell, but it gives it historical accuracy in a way. I don't know if the Tomahawks were really a thing back then, because, the first one came out in 1992. I was 5 years old, so I don't really know, My mom had a thing for Seagal back in the day. She liked his ponytail. I remember seeing part of this one, and maybe part of the second one when I was younger, maybe. I'll be doing the second one next, by the way. This movie was actually pretty good. The explosions, the action, Seagal at his best. This is regarded as one of, if not, Seagal's best movie. And it is pretty good. You get people out into, you get Glenn Morshower, who's very young here. There's the cameo by Bernie Casey. You have Raymond Cruz, who's very young here. He's Tuco from Breaking Bad. And he was in Curse of La Llorona. And, and Erika Elenick, who was on Baywatch at the time. And Tommy Lee Jones, who has a little bit of longer hair. And to be honest, he's some of the most outrageous part of this film. Just the way he talks. And Gary Busey dressed as a woman. Can't unsee that. See, the whole gag at this point was that they were gonna bring in the playmate, Erika Elenick's character. And so Gary Busey says he's gonna go put his evening gown on or whatever. He comes down dressed like a woman and he starts dancing and stuff, and it's really weird. There's a point where they lock Seagal in a freezer so he can't stop what's going to happen. And then they say, and then he thinks it's weird that they locked him in the freezer and not a brig. As if something would be up otherwise. Would it make a difference if he was locked in the brig? I'm not, up on the naval codes or anything, but would it be any different if they locked him in the brig, to be honest? I actually think maybe it would be easier to have locked him in the brig. I don't know. I don't remember how he gets locked in, like he mounts off or something. Like, I don't know, he's cooking his thing. He's worried about his pies, for God's sake. Take my pies out of the oven. And then the guy watching him was like, you got something burning right back? Take my pies out of the oven. It's like, and before you say anything, I am going to say this. It's very much Die Hard on a Boat. I'm just going to say that. There's no Christmas, but it's one guy, and later a guy and a woman, and he does get some help from his buddies a little bit later too, but mostly it's one guy trudging along, trying to stop these insurgents from doing bad things. Now, is Tommy Lee Jones a better villain than Alan Rickman? No. But he's a pretty good villain. To be honest, I really enjoyed this film. I'm not a big Seagal enthusiast, and I bought some of his films so I could get, I bought these two, On Deadly Ground, Half Past Dead, Marked for Death, Hard to Kill. I know there's some obscure choices, but Marked for Death is because I've had the VHS tape for ever. I found a bunch of VHS tapes downstairs one time, and it was in there. I had it ever since then. It was a few years ago, and I haven't been able to watch it. And I really want to know what it's about, so I bought the, But yeah, this movie, it's got explosions that you like. It's a very action. They said that action movies in the 80s, 80s and 90s action films. Action films nowadays are nothing like those. And it shows. From what I've been watching with the, lately with 80s and 90s action films, just the amount of action you can put in a film, with whether it's bloodshed or explosions or something like that, is phenomenal. Nowadays, you got some explosions, mostly now CGI, but back then they're actually blowing shit up. Now it's all CGI and stuff, and you can't really believe that it's actually getting blown up. And even blood nowadays sometimes is CGI. But yeah, it's it makes you miss action movies of the 80s and 90s, because they really had that kind of thing to them, where the explosions and the blood and the guts and the cursing and the smoking and all that. Action movies nowadays, even rated R movies in general, have been kind of turned down when it comes to all that stuff. There's not as much smoking as there was. There's not much. There's blood, but you have to get an unrated version of the film to do it. And most of the time now, blood is CGI, and, kills are CGI, and even nowadays, back then with this, Seagal maybe did most of his stunts, but, he also had a stunt double. Nowadays, they just do it with CGI. It's a different kind of action movie, and I really enjoyed this movie. I don't know about the second one. I've never seen it. Maybe seen a little bit, but not much. So we'll see how that is. But for Under Siege, I think you get an 8 out of 10. It's a decent action horror film. I really enjoyed it. 8 out of 10 for me. So what are your thoughts on Under Siege? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.